I'm Carlos Santamaria. First of all, the macro area that I have chosen is educational, and I'm going to talk about big data because I think it's nowadays it's very important for all of us. What is big data? Big data is a concept that refers to the large amount of data that is generated very fast for all of us, and it's really difficult to process all this information using traditional tools. And it arises as a necessity of as a necessity to storage all this information in somewhere. It's very important because all of us need this need big data to maybe send message, upload photographs on maybe, I don't know, Instagram. And data comes from well, nothing. Big data has advantage and advantage. One of these is that it improves the efficiency. Is better. The decision making is better if you use big data. The cost reduction, fraud detection, better marketing, and customer service. Some are some things that it's very good because of big data. And disadvantage, the personal data privacy is worst. The storage cost is very expensive. Data quality is worst. Digital divide, the necessary knowledge. We need knowledge to use big data. And I have one example that it's Netflix, or it can be whatever company. Okay.
Which target are you talking? Which target are you talking?
The target is maybe young people that don't know that it exists because it's very important.
Mostly speaking about kids.
Yes.
So
yes.
Are you referring to children or kids, or is for grown-ups? Is it for adults?
Yes. Yes. Adults.
So it's probably some kind of reporting mixed with educational.
But adults, maybe young people, like I don't know, 18 years. I don't know if you consider it adults.
Yeah,
yes. Oh, okay. 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 Yes.
It's interesting. Again, to find the references, and I probably focus on the general topic of big data. You have to explain it in an easy way to someone that doesn't.
Yes.
For example, I just know basic info about the big data, but I don't know how they work, why they are used, which companies use
Yes.
them, and why. So maybe you can give examples, do some infographics and stuff like that. And that's way can be fun.
Okay. And For example, Netflix, if they use big data, they can know all about their subscribers, like number of views, ratings, support, geographic location, date and time of viewing. So if they know all of that data, they can, yes.
That's why they
Hmm.
90% of the stuff.
Yeah. So that's all.
Thank you.
Ok. Elizabeth?
Do I have to press it?
No, you just scroll with
The mouse?
yeah, because we.
Oh, okay. So I have two themes. The first one is dedicated to.
Talk in the microphone, so we
I'm talking. Yeah.
closer to the microphone.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay. I have two themes. The first one is dedicated to Egyptians, especially about the traces that they left in Rome, because Rome. This is like a triangle of the area. Ah, educational record. I didn't understand that. So I just took some obelisks, and I thought that it will be very interesting to explore them carefully, and so I wanted to discover the similarities and differences between them, found their origins. I also wanted to make this booklet in style, maybe in a very colorful style, like as Egyptian ancient architecture. I also could add some geometric figures as graphic elements, emphasizing this ancient style. The second theme is about churches in Rome, because I also like the architecture of the churches. I chose 3 churches, but I can add more if necessary. So I want to make a booklet with a strong contrast, like white and black, and add maybe golden colors. I wanted to divide the book in chapters that are dedicated to history, beauty of the churches, and maybe my personal thoughts. So this is 3 churches that I chose. So yeah, I wanted to maybe take some pictures of the destinations, and I can add my own illustrations. That's pretty much all. Yeah.
Say something new. Really, I don't encourage this thing because it's a lot of stuff to say. There are a lot of them only saying which kind of selection you're doing. It's a lot of work, so I don't encourage it. The second topic. The first one is that is really interesting, but not necessarily linked to Egyptians that are obviously part of the equation, but linking it to the theme of colonization, because obelisks are not something that Romans did, but they stole them
Yes.
from countries that they conquered. So it can be really interesting to do an analysis of the obelisks that are in the center of Rome and maybe tell a short story of each.
Yeah. Okay.
through photos, illustrations, and stuff like that in a way that is interesting to the general public. But first, pick a macro area so you understand better which is the direction of the project, and then it's a bit of research to do on the objects.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so we were at we did this one. Emilia?
Okay, so my macro area is educational, and in particular, the area I wanted to expand on was scientific research, and link it to educational by the goal was stimulating curiosity for scientific topics and research. And so I developed two ideas. One is reading how to read weather maps. And I wanted to, so the goal was in view of all of the devastating and sudden hurricanes and cyclones that have happened during these past few years. But I wanted to help them. Reading weather maps is not just reading the meteo on the app on Google, but also understanding these types of more complex maps, and with that in mind, with the bigger goal in mind. And so I just put a mood board of more or less what I wanted to do. It would be more with collage and colors, because the radars are colored images. Also playing with circles, because some of them have circles in them, like this more aviation type of radar. With white background. That's the first idea. And I also wanted to do them hand sewn, so because I want to put some smaller inserts inside, and so I wanted to hand sew them. And my second idea was on mosquitoes, because I hate them. And then I wanted to really deep dive on the topic, and wanted to show, in this case, is a smaller group of kids, that they can really find a lot of interesting things in observing what's around them, and it can be also really little small things. But in this case, it would be more like scientific illustration with really detailed line work, colored. Mainly, I would like blue or red colors with lines. And in this case, it's more like
Okay. Tam?
Yes, I'm online.
Okay. Hi.
Ethnic minority costume, and this belongs to the cultural macro area. So on this subject is because Vietnam is a multi-ethnic country. Most of us are King people, up to 85% of the country, and I'm one of them. We wear modern clothes like most of you. T3 ethnic minority. Statue that on the roof of the house here in Vietnam. So this statue is like the alternative, but I put it aside for now. Yeah.
Okay. I think the first idea is obviously the strongest one, the one that I think you care about the most. And if you are you coming to Rome, or are you managing to come to Rome, or
I think I will come next week. Yeah.
next week? Okay. So my tip.
Okay, so I want to make a booklet about the sentence Il dolce far niente, which means the sweetness of doing nothing. And for me, it also comes together with the art of enjoying life. I come from Belgium, and there everybody wants to be productive. There's also a lot of stress, and people take a break. They feel like they've earned to take a break. So that's what I want to show in my booklet. It's okay to do nothing, enjoy the moment, to combine it with the Italian lifestyle. So, yeah.
Okay. And the alternative?
No. I'm not sure yet what I want to, like, which direction I want to go, but I want to work with those things. So.
Okay. It's really Italian. I recognize myself in this team, and this one you have to understand how you can do that.
Yeah.
Is it through follow in a specific neighbor? Is it in a town somewhere else? Is it in this? I mean, you have to find the spot where your analysis is going. There is a called Vita Lenta in Italian. It means slow life. It's only videos of like old people giving food to the. So it makes sense. But I think in these first stages is to first understand use maybe a media that you want to challenge yourself with, or something that you like to experiment with, and also do other research on how this concept has been developed in other projects, or it's been told in on movies.
Okay.
And the moment you start it, you get other ideas. I think.
Okay, thank you.
And also, area, I don't know if it's a thing for reporting. Okay.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Saul. I have chosen the educational macro area. I'm gonna talk about how to make a song. I want to talk it by a technical way, but in my booklet I wanna translate it in a way that everyone can understand it. So I'm gonna talk about the process of making a song, the brainstorming to the genre of the song. Then I'm gonna talk about the technical way in a music producing program that is FL Studio, and I'm gonna translate it with drawing and sketches to make it more easier to understand it. To my like the people I wanna is like a big range of ages to, but I'm kids. Then I'm gonna talk about every part of beat making. In this case, about the melody, how the sound choice sound is so important in the melody part to make like a harmony in the song. Then the drum the song, and this is like the most important part to maybe create a mood in a song. And the final part, the structure, that is the like how I made the song to maybe first the introduction, the chorus, the verse, the break, another chorus, the outro, and that part of the song. Then I'm gonna talk about the recording of the song with an artist, the writing of the lyrics, and the delivery. The second part is the main vocals, to record the main vocals, and then the secondary vocal reinforcements and something like that. And the final part, that is the most unknown part, that is the mixing and the mastering. That is like the process when to mix all the sounds to get like a coherence with the song, and the master to maybe grow up the sound to distribute this to the distribution of the song in social media, Spotify, YouTube, and that's my the educational macro area. So I wanna make it so graphic, the booklet.
I get it. It's a lot of stuff. So you have to find a way to put it all together and accessible.
Yeah.
And, obviously, it's impossible to go in detail on the program. So I recommend you to work on general aspects.
Yeah,
understanding the structure of a song that can be interesting. I recommend you to. There's a book by Scott McCloud. He's a comic book artist that explains with comics how comics are made. And it's like he's talking and he's explaining. There are diagrams and stuff like that. maybe that can be a
Okay.
first reference to start to understand in which form.
Can you repeat the?
The author is Scott McCloud, and the first book, that is the one that I recommend to you, is called How to Do Comics or How to Make Comics or something like that.
Okay.
So I will look into it. But if you go on his Wikipedia page and see the first book, that's the.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Miao Peng. Is he or she here? No. Is he or she?
I'm here. I'm here.
Hi.
Yeah. I'm clear.
Yeah. We can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. I will start. And I'm Peng Miao, and my macro area is culture, and my topic is people, ring, and apes. And you can see the pictures I post on Asian Chinese architecture. Like Asian Chinese architecture places a great emphasis on rain protection and Drillage, for instance, eaves were typically designed to be wide, effectively guiding rainwaters away from the structure to prevent water from eroding the wall. You can see the picture. It sounds like a Feiyan and a Chuyan. But in modern architectures, although traditional flying eaves, they seems a lot common thing. The design concept of overhanging eaves has been returned. Mailing modern design like garden buildings, museums, or cultural centers, they will also keep the structures to the blending the ancient architectural principle of rain protection and aesthetics views. And the Western architecture approaches the management of rainwaters and the sunset have some difference. Like while they are functional similar to overhanging eaves, they typically do not emphasize wide eaves to the same extent. And this also leads to difference in living habit and sensories. And the next page. And for this program, I want to discuss those from 3 parts to like the method of rainwater management in traditional Chinese architecture and their inheritance, and compare this with the Western architectural culture and from all those things and how people seek shelter from rain and the resulting difference in lifestyle and perception. I'm not sure. Maybe I think this program can be also classified as education field. And for something others, I also think about the dragon pattern in architectures and the spiritual pictures in China. That is.
Okay, I think this scheme or this diagram is it's really interesting because it gives you different ways of looking at this theme, and the theme overall is interesting. I'd say you can proceed with this one, but it really depends on the level of depth you analyze that. So I think it can be cultural, maybe with some educational hints to explain parts, maybe in an accessible way. But I think it works, but you must do some research on that. Research and synthesize the information in something that will be, a small booklet or, something.
Of course. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Alessandro Puccio. Is he here?
Yeah, so I haven't found a name yet for the booklet. I was just sketching some ideas. Last week I saw the illustrated book from Lara, and it was my favorite one. So I wanted to make a educational book, maybe illustrated book or a graphic novel, where I can take a complex thematic and try to explain it for teenagers. So I took the inspiration from the Disney Spark shorts. I saw them last week, and they were so beautiful to me. They were like children and teenager aimed for the target, and they were so beautiful to treat things like growing up, facing their sexuality, and they were so beautiful to explain these complex things in a simple way, like in 4 or 5 minutes, and they were so beautiful. So I wanted to try to use this creative mix to make an illustrated book. I never did an illustrated book, an illustrated product. It will be my first one, so it's like a challenge to me. And I don't know, it will be kind of great to me to experiment on things like that. And I just want to find a proper thematic that can be not too much complex to elaborate for a teenage target, and not even too easy to be like boring for teenagers. Like, I just want to find a balance and a good thematic. And as an alternative, I wanted to go on a cultural product, like taking modern museums in Rome and analyze their contrast in an historical city like Rome, based on millennials of history and heritage, and how this has influenced the modern art in our city, like Macro Asilo or Maxi, and just see how they face of each other. Yeah. As a second alternative, I was thinking about a basic advertising. This is the least exciting for me, just because in my entire career, academic or working, I always worked on advertising products for printing. So it will be, I don't know, redundant for me, but it's just a safe spot. Like I did so many times, I can just go on that. So I was like thinking at breaking down a product, instead of doing the simple advertising message like this is the product and that's why you should choose it, or this is the service and this is the call to action to try the service. Maybe I could just try a breakdown of a product. This product was born here and is composed by these things and it's designed like that. Maybe something like this. Yeah.
I mean, there is not a thing yet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Probably it's better that you challenge yourself with something you never did.
Yeah.
So eventually you can learn something new.
Yeah.
But consider that the moment you challenge yourself with something new, you must include in the workflow also the time to learn to do a specific thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So also the moment you decide to do booklet in one way or the other, consider that you have to learn really to do that. So
Yeah.
I think in the end it's the best thing, because you're learning.
Yeah.
But if you have also other exams and stuff.
Yeah, this is the only thing that kind of scares me, just because I always study something like illustrations or color theory, character design, and things like that. But I actually always did some exercises on these fields, this exercise on environment art, on this character design, but I never build up an entire product based on illustrations. So it will be my first time, and I don't know.
we have still a little bit more time to think about it.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
We'll see.
Okay. Stephanie?
Okay, so the idea of the booklet, first of all, the macro area is reporting. The theme is an investigation on a serial killer. This theme is the objective is to raise awareness, especially for young women, because throughout the years, many serial killers have targeted women from different age gaps. So, and plus it's an interesting topic for me because I've always wondered if the serial killer is a psychopath by birth, like it's something related to genetics or related to life events that this person faced. I guess the title will be Il lupo dell'agro romano because this is the the name they gave to the serial killer, which is Maurizio Giuliano, and mainly the booklet will be will be divided in two sections. The first section will be about the biography of Maurizio, and the second section will be tracking investigation of the murders he committed in 8 months. He murdered 7 women within 8 months. The main look and feel of the booklet will be dark black and white mainly because I will use photographs. It's real. So I will use photographs and some collage. That's it.
I didn't know about this serial killer. Really into this kind of stuff, so I will look into it.
Okay.
Not into serial killers, but stories.
Yeah.
But my question is again, what is the aim of this book? What would you be telling by doing that? Is it just to tell the story in a fun way?
No, of course it's not fun way.
I mean, in a more appealing way.
Yeah. It won't be like if you Google it or something, just read. It will be more like I said, I will use images. It's like a mood board that police station use when they are investing. So, the red. So it will be more.
So I can recommend a book by a speaker called Nora Cook, and the book is called Heimat, that means country of origin in German.
Okay.
And it's a story of a family through photographs, drawings, pieces of fabric, all kind of stuff. The book, I didn't like it so much, the story itself, but the way it is done, it's probably a good reference from which to start.
Okay, but so, can you?
Heimat by Nora Cook. Heimat with the H.
Okay.
And it's nice. Maybe you can start from that and find a way to get all this information. The only thing is that I think all the investigation in this stuff is in Italian.
Well, I will translate them. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
If you were not able to find it, come again and I will tell you. Okay, Anna Riabova.
Hi, so I came up with the two topics that I would love to learn about more myself and to tell others maybe about it. So the both of them are educational. First topic is about Russian writers in Italy. A lot of Russian writers, and maybe I can also include artists in this topic, were living in Italy for some period of time, and a lot of their artworks was inspired by some Italian cultural things. So Rome, or in Italy in general, what works were written in the city, how Italy influenced their creative path. I chose this topic because I'm interested in literature. I know something about Russian literature, and I would like to expand my perspective on this topic, and also to combine the two of my interests, like design and literature, in one product. And here you can see the picture of a book. It is a book in Russian, 100 Reasons Why Lev Tolstoy is Crying. So Lev Tolstoy is a famous Russian writer, and there is a book made in a comic style that is describes like it's hundreds I don't know how to say things in it described, and it's like humoristic but things.
Story of different writers in Italy.
Yeah.
Okay.
The reference this like something that would include like collage style, something like drawing above the photos and things like that. And the second topics also educational, is to explain kids concept of feminism. Goal to create an educational booklet about women, the history of feminism as a movement, and the current situation in this area. I think it's important to explain such concepts to children from a young age to raise awareness of such important social issues. But explain it in simple terms, maybe with a scheme and illustrations, to it be like really approachable. I have a lot of experience talking and arguing about feminism with my guy friends, so I know how to explain it to children. So it would be, I could finally put it into a written word. And I would like to do it also either like in this kind of style, like comic one, or maybe something more about collage, like drawing on pictures also, like something like this. Yeah. So
both of the themes are interesting. I'd say pick the one that you care most about.
Okay.
And would be.
So I'll think about it and tell you later.
A little bit more, but both the themes I think are really interesting. The way you want to develop them is pretty similar.
Yeah.
So we will see together. But pick one you want.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Natania.
Okay, so the first thing I heard in this class was that for this booklet we need to focus on something that we have more information about. And I chose, first my career I chose was educational. And I chose to work on communication and why effective communication is important. I've done a lot of research on my bachelor year about this topic, so I thought to challenge myself on how all the information I've learned, I can structure it and make it simple for children to understand. My main focus is to teach children the value of communication in everyday life. I was thinking of covering how talking, listening, and understanding each other can solve problems, build friendships, and create a better and more connected world. Keywords will be communication, understanding, friendship, problem solving, and connection. I thought of two themes, either why communication matters or let's talk it out, to emphasize the role of communication in resolving conflicts and misunderstandings. In this booklet, like I said, I aim to show kids how important is communication through fun examples or photographs or maybe illustrations. I want to explain the different ways people can communicate and why being able to express themselves is important. I got some references, like 3 children books that also are connected to my topic, but those references I took to study to understand how I can simplify all the research I've done for children to understand. Because I think that one of the most important things is that we can't learn how to communicate when we haven't learned that before in our home or in our first years of school. So, yeah.
The team is fine. I like it. As I told the others that shows communication, you probably need to tell a story to explain this.
I wanted to do like when you first get in first grade and you have like books, for example, a picture of a dog and you learn that D is for dog. I wanted to do like pictures, like 2 kids playing, and there's a saying like, if you listen to each other, you can play better or work better in groups. That was my kind of... And illustration, I thought either I take pictures or I can like take pictures from the internet and illustrate them and do the same.
Yeah, you can find out the idea is fine to have different situations that you show. We work on the form and on how to...
Yeah, because I thought more of like kind of a school book than a story, like to be more focused on that.
No problem, but find some reference. Go to bookshops and browse some links to see if there is something.
Because the stories I took were also to understand how those authors explain to children.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Emanuele Rosti.
Okay, so I have, for now, 2 ideas. I don't know which one is like the main that I would like to develop. Okay, and so the first one would be focused on the writer's culture in a specific environment, and I think the city of Rome would be convenient for me. And I would like to kind of dive into the meaning of the pieces that populate the streets of the city, both in terms of like big artistic installations, but also in terms of vandalic acts that sort of tell a deeper story regarding the culture and the issues that particular place is like facing. And this idea would be developed in a booklet, in a sort of map that tries to encapsulate the different feelings and the different expressions that each part of the city is trying to express, and would also kind of focus on the different graphic approaches and ways that different kinds of writers adopt in order to communicate. So this is the first one, while the second idea that I had actually takes inspiration from the presentation we saw the previous week about the Russian writer. I think it was a writer or a poet, a girl from the previous years showed us last week. And I would also like to do something like that, but related to a music, to like a record, which is Polaroid. And I would like to kind of try to translate sounds into shapes. And since this particular album, in my opinion, has like a really vivid imagery, it would be an interesting way to try to encapsulate the theme of the Polaroid into an illustration that tells the story of the song. And also for this idea, there would be like the theme like of the map, or like the place that is explored, which is also in this case the city of Rome. And it would be interesting to like try to fit the song into a specific place, into a specific meaning, and into a specific way of like turn the sound into graphics.
This one interesting, but my tip is to. I think you're aware that there are different kinds of graffiti.
Yes.
Grown-ups, tags, sticker art, crystals, any wall art. I mean, all of them have different meanings and different intents.
Yeah.
And focusing on all of them, it's maybe if you want to focus on all of them, you can explain the different intents, different sizes, scales, which any graffiti represents. So explaining to someone that the wall art is something that is only commissioned, the base stuff is something that you can do yourself, the stickers is something, so scaling up from the huge installments to the tiny tag on the metal station.
Yeah.
Something like that. On the other hand, if you want to focus on a specific type of graffiti, then it's something similar to what you were telling about. So explaining this type of graffiti, how it's performed, why, what is happening, who are the protagonists.
Yeah.
So I recommend choosing
one of the two. Yeah. Okay.
On the other one, it is more experimental. So it's like turning an album in some kind of graphical object.
Yeah. For this one, I would also like to kind of, since recently you buy a CD and most of the times you don't find anymore the tiny booklet with the lyrics that was inside of it, I would like to also use this kind of medium to express the thing.
That would be something interesting. So we imagine it like a finished product, a CD or a vinyl, not really CD, with the booklet inside, and you're producing the booklet and the size that fits. Maybe with all the packaging.
Yeah.
So both of them, I think, are interesting.
Okay. Thank you.
I mean, take you not too much time. Decide within next week.
Yeah. Okay. Melissa.
I don't know if we can do all of you, so I ask you to.
Okay, so for the macro area, I chose advertising. I am planning to make a booklet or as like a guide or an entertaining booklet for people who enjoy gaming. I chose to name it Connect because with games, players talk with each other and socialize. I chose some references, game development insights. There will be news about game industry, the big companies that have been successful, especially PUBG. I don't know if you have heard of it. Supercell, King, Tencent, Clash of Clans. And then I am planning to make an illustration about official art about the game that I am thinking of making. These are some official art of games like Genshin Impact and Valorant. And then another idea is to create an application like Twitch or Discord, and to edit in the booklet, but I don't know if I can. Maybe the illustration is better. This is another reference. This is a Japanese magazine by a game called Final Fantasy. So it will be like kind of similar, like advertising the games and the illustration.
So from all the information that you want to put inside, you basically want to do a magazine.
Yeah, it's like a guide or about gaming. It's like entertaining magazine.
Maybe explaining the different topics that most of people. So what I think is to imagine it like a zine, a magazine, a container of different columns and stuff like that. But imagine it like, since you're alone, you would be maybe that alone. Imagine it like a zine, a self-produced zine, where you develop different themes, but treat it like a magazine.
Yes.
So with different sections. So as we did with the analysis
Yes,
of the
yes.
magazine. Okay. And then on the stuff that you're gonna write inside, you have to go a bit of research.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Aruzan. Okay.
So I came up with two ideas. The first one is a cultural. It's related to linguistic and languages, and how different languages from different groups can be connected. And I was thinking about choosing like two languages that are from different groups and show how they can be related. And the main message here is, even though we speak different languages, we have something in common. And all of the time we can find even few words that sound the same and have the same meaning. So, and I was thinking about showing them, like doing infographics and illustrations. And no, not yet. And yeah, I thought the main audience can be multilinguals, so it can be interesting why we speak certain languages and what was the history behind. And the second idea is about the subconscious and the art practices, like how we can connect to it through journaling, collaging, and different art practices. So the second one is more educational, and I thought I can do like step-by-step infographics, like instructions. What can you do to achieve the goal? Yeah.
Connecting with our
with the subconscious.
Okay. I used to have a dream journal.
Oh,
I
yeah.
used to write down all my dreams, and there is a famous Italian director, Federico Fellini, that did a book called The Book of Dreams. He drew all of his dreams. That can be a good reference. I personally like better the second option. Because the first one, it can be either you do a general speech on languages, like starting from infographics, but that can be derivative. The moment you focus on two specific languages, I don't know. It can be this one, it's more artistic in a way, but in the end, I think you can find more room to experiment.
Okay.
Graphical situations. And, nice.
Okay.
Okay. I will go with the second one.
Okay.
Okay. Tianguo Chen. Ah.
Hello, everyone. I have two ideas about my booklet. Okay, I have two ideas about my booklet. The first one is my topic is about culture. The first one is culture from ancient China. So that is frescoes from Dunhuang, and I just want to find some patterns from these paintings of war, and try to connect it to the contemporary society to talk about how they can communicate with contemporary society, like the Great Hall of people of China. And I also have an alternative plan is from ancient Italy. So maybe I can go to the Victoria Hall and find how the visitors and communicate with the structure or these buildings, how their dialogue in Rome. So that's it.
Okay. I think both things are interesting. The first one probably can be, I mean, if you study well, do some research, and produce something where these graphics, you know, you reinterpret them, you explain them, maybe you give, ways to reproduce them. That can be, I think that can be.
And ping a lot of some basic patterns from the.
Some handbook, giving the basic information on that. I think that can be interesting. The other one also, when you explained it, I immediately started thinking about a photographic record of how people interact in different ways with ancient buildings and architecture. So maybe it can be something more
easy than the first because I can take a photo and then I can see directly in Rome. The second one is I think more convenient than the first one because I can see directly when I go to the Victoria Hall. Yeah, the first one just I can search from search from photo from website and.
But it's not direct information.
Yeah. But I'm a Chinese, so the first one is more familiar than the second one. So
I think both things are interesting. Pick the one that you feel better, more connected to. The second one, probably the work that was done by Atelier Bauau that I showed in one of the last classes called Communalities, so how people interact in public spaces. That can be a good starting point, and if you remind me, I can bring you the book so you can see it. But take your time to decide. I mean, within this week, beginning of next week.
Okay.
And let me.
Okay. Thank you.
I think we're almost there. Alessandro Terrini. Not here. Okay. Suai.
For my micro area, I would say cultural, but looking at the themes, I could also say educational, I guess, but I can say that my my approach is more like creating a vibe and arousing a feeling about the topic. So my approach is more like cultural than educating people. So that's what I thought. The first alternative, the first topic is about two writers, which are Cesare Pavese and Tezer Özlü. She is a Turkish writer, and she's really affected by the writings of Pavese. And in her novel of Journey to the End of Life, she's following the path of Pavese. She's like visiting the places that he visited and going to the hotel room that he killed himself. And it is like a Europe trip of a Turkish girl and all the feelings that she has. And maybe I also created this mood board. Maybe I can like add maps, and I can use different kind of media together, texts and like images, and maybe some black and white things, because all the images of those writers are like black and white.
What's the name of the writer?
Tezer Özlü and Cesare Pavese.
From which period is Tezer Özlü? Is it a recent writer, or she's from?
Oh, it's like from 60s, I would say. Yeah. And my other idea is like about femininity, and there are like some ideas of what can I put in this book, like some titles that I can go with. I mean, it's a broad topic, and we can say that's popular topic. So I would like want to approach it more like in a unique and maybe fun way. And this is again the mood board for like in general my ideas, and I think it would be more like a provocative, like a booklet. That was the second, and the third one was like the beauty of everyday acts. But I would say I'm not really sure how to like do it, so I would choose either like the first one or the second one.
Either the first or the second one, I would say. No.
I would choose the first one or the second one, but not the third one. I'm not really in favor of the third one, but for the first or second, both are like, I like them.
Why did you propose also the third one?
I don't know. I just wanted to like add more alternatives because you said maybe two or three.
I found it really interesting. I also
Third
read a
one.
book on the how to get bored and how boring tasks are being totally deleted from our daily lives because we're always flooded with content. Even washing the dishes with this podcasts. There's always something. There are no boring moments in our lives, and that's a problem because creativity develops during these moments, during the repetition of a situation. So I found it interesting because I read a book about it. But both of the things, the first two things that you proposed, I think all the three things are interesting. The first one, it's important to understand in which way you want to tell the story of these two authors. If it's been written something before, and how it has been written, maybe you're working more in a graphical way. Let's see, try to understand which is the best way to convey these two characters and information that you can find. The other one, again, is a huge theme, and you must do a lot of research on that to understand what philosophers, thinkers had to say on the topic and how it is represented today. So I think the three things are interesting, but pick one and then we decide which direction, which form the product can take.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. And please don't choose the third one just because I said that it was interesting.
Also, there was another similar one, so.
Yeah, but pick the one that you like, really. Mila.
Okay, for my subject, I already changed something about it because first I wanted to do educational, but now I'm thinking about cultural because I want to speak more in the subject of Japanese ceramics, and then speak more about the subject in this team about like the Japanese tea ceremonies, the history of the ceramics there, and the origins of raku and wabi-sabi. It's raku is a glaze technique where you put your piece and heat it up to like 1000 degrees, but then very quickly put it out of the oven in the cold, and that's then the glaze cracks all over, and it gives a really specific technique, which I would explain better in the booklet, of course. And then I want to combine it with wabi-sabi. It's a philosophical aesthetic that was used to like give form of the simplicity of things and the authenticity, which in ceramics you can really find it back. And that's why I want to speak more in the subject of the Japanese ceramics and then discuss these topics because I find them really interesting, and give my booklet form. But I don't know how I will do it exactly, but I think I would like to speak more in the cultural way of it and not specific in like the educational way. Yeah.
So it's like you mentioned, like illustrated book or photo book with, because there is a lot of stuff that's been, especially in recent years, I read an article where they're telling that a lot of books on Japanese culture are being published every year. A lot of them. There's a ton of them. And I'd like to avoid some simplistic take on the theme because I read a lot of them and it's always the same stuff.
Yes.
Wabi-sabi, I read it multiple times. So I think the theme is really interesting, but my tip is to even find a niche argument, something that maybe is not been told before.
Yeah.
And maybe find a way to do it in a product that has the same care as the pottery makers.
Yes, I'm in contact with a ceramic here in Rome. Because I am a ceramic artist, so I know how to do it, but I want to specify now on the raku because I don't know much about it, but I really like the technique. So that's why I want to like bring it all together.
So maybe it can be also the process.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Nice. There is a book that I gifted to one friend. She's doing pottery as well, and it's called. I have to find it's red one by Kodansha or something like that. It's about Japanese ceramic and pottery. Maybe you can start from that.
Yeah. Okay.
Remind me, write me an email and I will find it.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, almost there. Beatrice, are you online, Beatrice? Okay, I think not. Janning.
My booklet's name is Still. My Moko area is a culture. It's about dual voice and share words. The key words is communication, language, culture, and function. When we live in different countries, do the barriers for the mother tongue become an obstacle? Do the dual our in nation and expression? So when you first exam, when your first language is Chinese, but you live in a country that speak a different language. On one hand, it helps you know who you are and gives you a sense of identity. On another hand, it can feel like barriers, like limited how you understand the world. When the two different language and the culture mix, we often create new and interesting ideas. So when the mother tongue becomes a cultural tool shaping indeedly and understanding the words, language is not just a tool for the communication, but also a framework for the thinking that influence how we proactive the thinking around us. For me, I came a completely new country city, and I trying to find the connection between Italy and Chinese, and I also looking for the moment when I came Italy that touched me the kindness. So that's all.
The last slide. Okay. I mean, it's interesting, but it's probably you must do a lot of research in terms of linguistics. So read books on
Yes.
how the language shapes the way we communicate and how changing that. So I think the theme is really wide.
Oh.
There is a lot of stuff to say, and I know nothing about it, so I don't know how to help you. But if you wanna pick this path to work on, this kind of topic, you must do other research and understand what has been written on that in scientific research or in books. Otherwise, it's difficult even to articulate project. Okay.
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 Okay. Stuart?
Hi, this is my booklet idea. The micro area I've chosen is cultural, and I want to focus on flea markets. I chose Bordese because it's a large flea market with about 70 years of history. It was many different second-hand items, and I think of it as an outdoor museum showing pieces of people's lives. That's why I've given my project the temporary title, that's Living Museum. I'm not fully sure about the keywords yet, but I've chosen a few for now, like flea market, public space, cultural artifacts, urban cultural, time-worn, and so on. And I have some alternative. And sorry, please wait. And as for the content, I've thought of a few ideas. First, I see the flea market as a living museum full of history and culture. Every object has a memory and a unique story, like exhibit in a museum. Then the past, present, and future all meet here, and every customer is like a visitor. I think maybe I could tell some of the stories behind these objects. I could also ask customers why they buy these items and learn about the feelings they get from them. And second, the process of picking out items at the flea market feels like a treasure hunt. It's fun and exciting as people search for hidden gems among all the things for sale. I think this process is also a bit like agriculture. Sorry, I don't know how to say it, but it's like searching for things that are buried. Third, let's see. Third, the flea market is part of the public space in the city, and over time, it has become a part of city's culture. And I think this also involves a topic about cities and its histories, or perhaps a topic about cultural fusion in public space. And I think it would be interesting to record its location and architecture, as well as show sense of how customers interact with the market. Okay. No, it's alternatives.
So I'm a huge fan of portable physics. 20 years I'm doing, not every week, but almost. Who visited portable physics yet? Okay, I recommend you to visit. It's Sunday morning, so it's challenging. And I recommend to go there from 8 to 10, because otherwise it's really crowded and annoying. And there are also a lot of big focus, so but it's a word that I think is worth an article. So I think focusing on the flea markets in portable physics in general, it's always worth doing something like that. But you have to decide which story you want to tell. So is it the story of the customer? Is it the story of the seller? Is it the story of the general, of the human landscape of people living the base? So think about it. Think what will be your focus, because you have to focus on something, otherwise it becomes too wide as a team. But yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yichen.
Okay. Hello. I choose the area is culture. So I will be presenting my project titled Chan, Sanjivani Walking Grocery Shopping Guide. Chan is a Chinese character. It means gluttonous. Gluttonous. Yes. So it means this booklet combines sociological and economic study of grocery shopping culture in the Sanjivani neighborhood. I have approached it as a researcher and as both a Chinese international student living in this area. Okay, so there is a question. Do you miss the flavors of home while living in a foreign country? So, as a Chinese student, my answer is yes. I'm living near Sanjivani, so I use my personal experience as a lens to explore local food culture. The guide focused on identifying places like Italian supermarket. I don't know if you go to this supermarket. For example, near my home, there are Toadies, Inns, Tigres. See, and
Which part of San, because San Juan is pretty big.
yes, practically I near near the Lodi.
Near Lodi. Okay.
See, near Lodi, yeah. And there are many Chinese grocery stores and small mini markets where fresh ingredients can be found. Through this, I document my journey to buy ingredients that help me to recreate the flavors of my hometown. And the guide is not just a map of where to shop, it also includes recipes for traditional Chinese dishes and a comparison of Chinese and Italian food cultures. So this booklet therefore serves as a working guide for local grocery shopping, showcase cultural diversity through food and emphasizing the joy of connecting with one's roots in a foreign place. And this is my project overview. So my visual form is maybe a map of the San Giovanni, especially Lodi area, with a key grocery location marked. And the booklet highlights the fusion of culture through food. It serves as a practical guide for students and residents to discover local market. And I want to say this booklet will serve as what makes this project unique is that it combines a working guide for buying groceries with recipes that allow me to recreate the flavors of my hometown. So the point is not just a study, it's a personal journey. Yeah, that's finished.
I think the idea is really beautiful because you want to tell other maybe other your colleagues from China how to create the flavors of your country with Italian ingredients.
Yeah.
And the concept is clear and it works indeed. So it's better. The only thing that I'm skeptical is about San Giovanni in the specific. I mean, why is that? I mean, can it be just on the ingredients that you can find in regular grocery shops? Why does it be San Giovanni? That's the question. Because it can be a general discourse. I mean, it's more like recipes with Italian ingredients for homesick Chinese people, something like that. But not necessarily on San Giovanni, because the shops that you mentioned, so Tony's, Eats, or others, you can find them in any area of Rome. So it's not that they are so specific to San Giovanni. Instead, for example, near Piazza Vittorio in Esquilino, there are a lot of Chinese shops where you can find Chinese ingredients, but they're only in Esquilino. That's the thing that is skeptical about. So really think about it. About localizing it in San Giovanni, but maybe to a general speech, general discourse on the ingredients. Italian ingredients or produce Chinese food.
So I choose San Giovanni. The most important reason is I live there. Yeah, and I want this booklet will be a practical and cultural tool for someone like me living in San Giovanni, practically international people or who are looking for to feel at home in this area. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe we can see it together later on, but please remember that the ingredients you can find in the toddies in San Giovanni are the same ingredients you find in the toddies in our neighborhood. So it's always the same stuff. So localizing that, I think needs to have a really strong importance in the neighborhood. Maybe we can find it together, but maybe not.
Okay.
So just keep it in mind that.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Last two, Alexandra.
Hello everyone, my name is Alexandra. Here's my ideas. Okay. I'm going to discuss it, but I'll be short. Okay, surely the choice of macro area should depend on what do I like and what interests me. Themes that I'm interested in is astronomy, natural sciences. I had a scientific background, historical view, and cars, and making illustrations. I work as an illustrator. Okay, as a summary, I stopped on two themes. The first one is advertising. I thought about Porsche company. And educational one is an astronomy booklet for kids. So the first idea is an astronomy booklet for kids is an educational one. I suppose if I'll choose this one, I'll make a booklet full of illustrations, and I think it fully be illustrated by me with basic concepts of solar system, galaxies, and so on. This the first booklet idea, and the second one is the advertising one about Porsche company, its history, and something like that. I've never did anything like advertising. That's why I also thought about this idea. And so here are two my ideas. And I can't decide which one should I choose because both are interesting for me.
It's like telling the astronomy to a kid. I mean, it's difficult, obviously, with illustration, but I think it's doable, and there must be some research behind it, and so you can get some ideas, and also research on the references and on the themes. The second one, if you want to employ illustration in doing that, can be, again, something interesting because it becomes a booklet. There is kind of, I don't know, some kind of advertising the gift that the companies give to customers. But usually, companies like Porsche, they are really elegant, and top-notch quality and really expensive. Employ illustration style.
Yeah, and surely in the second idea, I thought that there won't be any illustrations because of the style of the company. So
please consider that the specific brand that you chose probably will employ.
So the second one is more like strict, and the first one is, yeah. Yeah.
But both of the ideas are great. So the one that you
Okay.
like most, the one that you think more challenging.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Mariam?
Yes, I'm online.
Hi.
Hi. I have choose two different themes. One of them, the first one is reporting. I choose AI because it is, mentally I always thinking about it, and I want to specify the art with AI and these things. I don't want.
The macro area?
Yes, the macro is reporting.
Okay. Okay.
I want to analyze the pictures which creates with area AI and paintings, illustration. I want to do all illustration by myself, and I also want to use some famous paintings or some famous illustration, or ask some of artists to do some illustration or paintings, and after that ask AI for the same thing and do some analysis between the one which created by humans and the one which created by AI, and do some analysis related to this. And this is my first theme. And the second one is cultural. I want to specify the life in bazaar, which is I choose Tabriz bazaars in my country, Iran. And this is the one of the biggest bazaars in world. And I want to analyze both architectural and also the traditions of the salesmen, because it's they do these jobs for generations, like even carpets they create and sells and these kind of things. But I didn't choose between these two concepts.
Okay. So the first one, it's difficult because you have to find you have to read a lot, you have to do research on that,
Yes.
and see if there is a workflow or a methodology already performed to analyze how images are produced. And it's a huge topic right now, but also
Yes.
a lot of bullshit has been written on that. Sorry for the word. So it really depends on how deep you go into this rabbit hole, and how much time you dedicate to that. Because personally, I'm not right now. I'm not a huge fan of AI generated images, but I know that is a team that is worth analyzing. So if you want to go this way, please consider that there is a lot of research to do on that. Otherwise, it can result in really something poor. Okay. So that's the first theme. The second one instead is, as the Porta Portese that we saw before, super interesting because it's something that, a living place with stories, people, objects, lot of years and centuries of, markets and things being sold. So obviously there is a lot of stuff to say. And so if you choose this one, please, again, narrow your options. Decide which theme you want to deepen in the specific. So maybe the history of some sellers, the quality of the architecture in relation to the different stalls, kind of people that, narrow your options. Otherwise, it can be something messier than the bazaar itself. So be careful.
Okay.
So take your time to decide, but keep in mind these two things. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So who's left? Okay. Did you deliver it on the classroom? Yes. Okay. So you can find it yourself. And then I think we're done.
Okay. Hi, I'm Sarah. Basically, my first idea, I guess it would be a combination between educational or cultural. You tell me at the end of it. My main idea was to have like the world of like Middle Earth from Lord of the Rings, and then you would have like, it's sort of a guidebook where you go to different parts of Middle Earth, and each part you go to, there would be like recipes from that area. So for example, if you go to where the elves live, there would be like foods where they eat, and there would be their recipes and everything. And the hobbits, maybe it would be a play on like their food system, like the 2 breakfasts they have and stuff like that. So that was my first idea. And then the second idea, just completely kind of different. It would be based on the football team that I support, and it would be kind of a general history on the team, and then the championships that they have won, or maybe like the evolution of the shirts, the shirt design that they have had. And then within the book, there'd be like little stickers and stuff like that, merchandise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first idea, I think it's really interesting because it's like you're doing a cookbook, a recipe book of recipes from Middle Earth. It's fun. I don't know if they really did it.
There is like a big cookbook, but mine would be like of, you know, when you go to visit a new place, they give you like a little guidebook, and then be like, if you go to this place, there'll be these restaurants. So it'd be like a play on like the map and the recipes that you could try from that.
Okay. Maybe with just a few recipes explain
Yeah.
more on the typical food of each area.
Yeah.
That's fun. I think there is one actual recipes from Panambi that I didn't know so much.
Yeah.
I know that it exists. So you can do some research on that, and obviously, that can be fun. Second one, again, football club, Barcelona. I think there's a lot of history and stuff to talk about. So pick, if you want to go this way, pick maybe one thing, like shirts, for example. With an analysis of all the shirts throughout the ages, famous shirts, and just do that. Otherwise, it becomes
too big, too general.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone left? Does someone say something or? No? Okay. So let's say we see each other in 1 hour, 1 hour and 15 minutes, and the second part we will have a lesson about illustration. What does it mean, or what does it mean, the style in illustration, and to register your presence today, I will talk in my phone, otherwise people at home can hear. Okay, so we are having a 1 hour break, and so we're back at 2 and 5 minutes. In the second part, we will have a short lesson on the illustration and the style used in illustration, and why different styles exist. And remember that to register your illustration, you must submit to the to register your presence, today, you must submit the notes that you will be taking in the second part of the lesson, or also in the first part, as an assignment that I will put on Classroom. So just to let you know. See you later. Is there any question? No. Okay. See you later then.